This is what the field looks like before we run it. They're on their way with the 5200. This was a silage field. It's like they spread some fertilizer out here, and this is going to go corn back to corn, which is the big purpose for the 5200, to get all this residue buried and start prepping for next year on corn. So you can see the residue. Not a ton, but definitely a little bit more than you would see in typical silage. I don't know if this was maybe earlage or what they did, but there's a little more residue here. Still a little green, but we'll see what we get. Hey guys, Adam Fennig here with Fennig Equipment. You're tuned into the Talking Shed. Behind me, you can barely see them because they're covering so much ground in a short amount of time. They're out there with a 5200. This is a 16-footer. It's what we're running today to help bury these corn stalks. And like I said before, this was a chopped field, but I'm gonna turn this thing around. We're going probably 3 to 4.5 inches deep, I would say. And I'm gonna turn this thing around. We're gonna dig, find out what we see. Keep in mind, the 5200 is designed to do one thing: incorporate and bury residue, but leave it still nice and smooth. The plan is here to come in with a vertical tillage tool and plant wheat into this. I think I may have said corn on corn earlier in the video. They're actually gonna do wheat in this ground. So I'll turn it around, we'll see what we got. So as you can see, it's doing a great job of lifting, flipping, and burying. Keep in mind, we are extremely dry here in Ohio, so clod size is a little larger than I would like to see right now. But I don't know what we can do about that with it being so dang dry. Because of course, like I've said many times, the deeper you go with these tillage tools, the larger your clod size gets. But it's extremely uniform. We do have some nice tilled up regions. The residue's buried. It's nice and smooth. This is exactly what you want to see after corn to really help bury this residue, especially if you're going to try and get another crop in here real quick, such as wheat. So let's go ahead and dig here and see how deep we really are. Yeah, we're probably right here in this spot. We're probably 4 inches right here, I would say. But like you saw in the video, those blades are 24-inch blades. They're at a pretty steep angle to lift and flip. And one really unique thing about this 5200 is how long of a tool it is. If you look, that dirt doesn't make it through that tool without getting mixed like a blender. Of course, it's got the 3-tine harrows that drag to level side to side, and then it's got the 14-inch basket on the back. So doing a great job out here incorporating these corn stalks and getting this field ready for wheat. Again, lift and bury residue while still leaving it nice and smooth. I have a lot of guys running chisels, and chisels do a great job, and I would compare the 5200 to a chisel as far as the amount of incorporation. But the advantage of the 5200 is we still have a firm bottom. So if it rains a lot, obviously we're going to have, you know, some snow this winter, and you go out there in the spring with a chisel, a lot of times you're going to sink down into those valleys where those shanks run, because you ripped that bottom out. You're going 12 to 18 inches deep sometimes, and there's no bottom for your heavy, big equipment to ride on. So you go there in the spring and you create tire tracks, and then in the fall you harvest and you got to come back in and rip those tire tracks out. With the 5200, we still do all this mixing and residue management while still leaving that solid, firm bottom. You can come in here in the spring and you've got a bottom for your equipment to ride on, so you don't create those tire tracks. So then in the fall, a lot of times you've got a more level, smoother field to work with. So the advantages of the 5200, it's designed to do one thing and it does it well. Incorporate and bury manure, residue, anything it is that you want to bury. So that's what we're doing today. Thanks for tuning in.